It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday morning, October 22nd. I'm James Spann. Sure, it looks like most of the state will stay dry through Sunday, but next week could be relatively wet. Let's go in there and discuss things. Big upper trough over the southwest United States beginning to lift out today, and that's going to set up some huge rains west of the state in the near term. Starting off the day mostly in the 50s. Although we still see some 40s, Haleyville, Decatur, and Fort Payne at 45. Birmingham at 57. Will likely warm up into the 80-degree range today. Be a pretty warm October day. Flash flood watches in effect west of the state. Much of Texas, parts of Oklahoma, New Mexico. That includes Dallas-Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Lubbock, and Amarillo. And how about a tornado watch to start the day at daybreak with that line of storms coming through West Texas? That includes Lubbock, Midland, and Odessa until 9 o'clock this morning. A marginal severe weather risk for the rest of today and tonight in that region. And then tomorrow, a marginal risk for parts of central and south Texas. And boy, look at the rains. Wow. Let's take a look at the high resolution look at that. This is suggesting parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex could receive about 10 inches of rain here over the next 5 days. And actually, this graphic goes out to 7 days. That's a huge rain event. That's the reason we have flash flood watches in effect there. Some moisture from the eastern Pacific gets involved, as you'll see in just a second. For Alabama, the amounts between now and Thursday of next week should be generally 1/2 to 1 inch. Although we might see some pretty decent rain by about Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Now, the Atlantic Basin is quiet. This is the action here. This is in the eastern Pacific. This is now Hurricane Patricia with top winds of 85 miles an hour. And this thing now expected to become a major hurricane briefly, then weakening as it approaches the Mexican coast. Landfall will likely come late Friday. And then, of course, it dissipates over Mexico, and the moisture from that thing comes up into Texas, and that's a reason for the excessive rains expected there, that with the upper trough lifting out and a surface front. Looks very wet for the Lone Star State. And understand, some of that will be ultimately moving in here by early next week. So let's take it one day at a time. Model fans, here's the GFS, the Global Forecast System, valid today at 1 o'clock. This is the 06Z run at 500 millibars. You can see the trough over the southwest. And for us, ridging, today will be sunny and warm with a high around 80. Rain in Texas. Tomorrow, a deep surface low is over South Dakota with a trailing front. Texas stays wet. We stay dry. Highs will likely be in the low to mid-80s. The NAM is at 81. The GFS is at 84. Saturday, as the weekend begins, another warm, dry day. A good chance we'll see low 80s. Very heavy rain, excessive rain possibly for places like Dallas-Fort Worth and Fayetteville, Arkansas, where Auburn will be playing a football game. It looks very wet. In fact, they might have some lightning. I would not be shocked if they had some flash flooding issues. I'm telling you, when moisture gets involved from an eastern Pacific hurricane, we've seen this time and time again. Some amazing rain amounts can occur out through there. So if you're a football fan headed for the Auburn-Arkansas game, be ready for a lot of rain. All right, race fans, race weekend at Talladega, obviously they're fine there through Saturday. Sunday still looking good. Yesterday we just decided to pretty much drop the mention of rain, and this is still looking good. And look at this. You got this tropical system on the lower Texas coast, the ghost of Patricia, kind of making a comeback. Of course, it would get another name in the Gulf if something forms down there. We'll check the European for Sunday. It's dry. So the bottom line is both the NAM and the GFS are now dry for Sunday. So everything looks good for race weekend. And Sunday will be warm. The high should be around 80. Now, Monday, that tropical feature is kind of sitting around Galveston. And the heavier rains south and west of here. But you can understand why Texas could see some huge rains here. I mean, goodness. But for us, we'll mention the chance of developing showers during the day. And then the tropical system lifts northward. This is Tuesday. And that could be a pretty wet day, especially for the western side of the state. We'll certainly mention a good chance of rain statewide, the high dropping to 70, and that could be tropical rain. That it might be heavy at times. And here's Wednesday, a big upper trough is involved. Deep surface low is over the Great Lakes. And again, that looks wet. So we'll mention rain chances beginning Monday, with rain becoming more widespread Tuesday and Wednesday. And look at the setup in the Great Lakes. That could be a blizzard for Duluth, Minnesota, International Falls, Minnesota. Gotta love those October blizzards. And then Thursday of next week, we get into some nice cooler air. Highs in the 60s and lows probably dropping in the 40s. Thought I'd show you the European depiction of rain with this feature next week, and it's got between 1 and 2 inches for this part of the state. Heavier totals up in the Tennessee Valley. There's a 3.1-inch bullseye around Scottsboro, so this could bring some pretty good rain to the state. Here's the end of the forecast. Halloween, October 31st, kind of a zonal flow, and if that's right, the weather would be dry and pleasant for trick-or-treaters. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video this afternoon by 4 o'clock, and if you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.